All right, friends, today we're going to look at Y.5, which is evaluating variable expressions with decimals, fractions, and mixed numbers, which is going to take some time for a few of us because we're going to have to do things that we don't necessarily want to do, especially with fractions, changing mixed numbers to improper fractions and multiplying, dividing. It will throw random curveballs along the way. So just try to get some paper out and some pencil while you're at it so that you can set these out. So the first question I have is 3 2/10 minus 3. So on my computer here, I'm going to show you 3 2/10 minus 3. So 2 minus 0 is 2. And 3 minus 3 is 0. So this is 2/10. Then I have 7 divided by 2.5. That's my second question. So I'm going to write it over here. I'm not going to try to take up. So I have 7 divided by 2.5. So I'm going to move the decimal point one time over there. The end of every whole number is a decimal, so I'm going to move it one time here. 25 goes into 70 2 times. That's 50. You're left with 20. Bring down a 0, so 1, 2, and 25 goes into 208 times. So that should be 2 8/10. Okay, 4 plus 3 8/10. Now this should be mental math for most of you. I have $4 and I add $3.80. So that's 7 8/10. 7 3/10 minus 1 9/10. So 7 3/10 minus 1 9/10. Okay, so I need to borrow. This becomes a 6. 13. 13 minus 9 is 4. 6 minus 1 is 5. 5 4/10. Okay, 1 plus 8 2/10. So that's $1 plus $8.20. That's going to give me $9.20. I'm going to hope that they're going to keep giving me questions like that because that's math. This one I'm going to write. So I have 7 8/10. Divided by 6. In this problem, the decimal moves straight up. 6 goes into 7 one time. Left with 18. 6 goes into 18 3 times. So this is 1 3/10. Oh, about got upset there. Pause for a second. So 1 times 9 1/10. That's an identity property, so that's awesome mental math. 1 times 7 5/10. That's 7 5/10. D, so D divided by 5. So I have 19 3/10 divided by 5. So far, they haven't given me any fractions. That worries me. When I get to 90, it's going to start doing all that, divided by 5. So on this problem, the decimal moves up. 5 goes into 19 3 times. That is 4. Bring down the 3. 5 goes into 43 8 times. It's 40. Left with 3. Bring down the 0. 5 into 30 6 times. Okay. Oh, look, here goes the fractions. Oh, the great thing about this is that both of these numbers, you could just add straight up. So 5 plus 1, 6. And then 1/3 plus 1/3, they have the same denominator, so I can add them mentally. That's 2/3. I have 20 minus 13 and 3/10. So 20 minus 13 and 3/10. And just like when that does that, it's difficult. 10 minus 3 is 7. Decimal. 9 minus 3 is 6. So that's 6 and 7/10. Okay, so I have 6/10 divided by 5 wholes. I'm going to use my eraser here. It'll take me a second to erase problem so I can reuse the top portion. I'm just showing my work, showing you that, sometimes showing work is not terrible, but that this lesson will take you time if you don't show work. So 6/10 divided by 5. Decimal moves up. 5 goes into 6 one time. You're left with 1. Bring down a 0 twice. So 12 hundredths. 18 minus 1 8/10. So I'm 18 minus 1 8/10. Okay, got a borrow already. It's a 10. That's a 2. 7 minus 1 is 6. So 16 and 2/10. Okay, 1 3/10 plus 15 3/10. Again, I want to make sure that my decimal points are aligned so I don't make basic math mistakes, especially on problems that you shouldn't get wrong. So 3 plus 3 is 6. 5 plus 1 is 6. And on the 1, so that's 16 and 6/10. Six and 7/10 times 1 and 7/10. So I'm going to erase these problems down here. My eraser takes forever to erase on this whiteboard. Okay, so 6 and 7/10 times 1 and 7/10. 7 times 7 is 49. 7 times 6 is 42 plus 4, which is 46. Add a placeholder. 1 times 7 is 7. And then 1 times 6 is 6. So then I have 9 plus 0 is 9. 7 plus 6 is 13. And 6 plus 5 is 11. Move the decimal twice. So 11 39/100ths. Okay, so I have 2 and 1/10 times 3 and 2/10. Okay, So 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Add a placeholder. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. So 2, 7, 6, twice, 672. $6.72 or $6.72. Okay, 7 plus 3, 61 hundredths. I'm going to combine 7 and 3, so that's 10 and 61 hundredths. And then, oh man, of course I told you they're going to save these problems like this for the end when you get real close and you're almost finished and you actually have to show a little bit of work. So I have no fear though. I'm going to show my work and get to the 91 so that I can finish the lesson, because I know that there are problems in this that are very frustrating and they require way more work. My problems so far have been pretty simple, standard. So 10 and 4/5 divided by 18, right? Before I even get started, I want to go ahead and change 10 and 4/5 to an improper fraction. To do that, what I'm going to do is take 5 times 10 and then add 4. 5 times 10 is 50 plus 4, which is 54, over 5 divided by 18. Now I'm going to place a 1 under the 18, and I'm going to do keep, change, flip. So I have 54 over 5 times 18. So a little math there. 5 times 8 is 40. And then that's a 9. So 54 over 90. And can I simplify that? Any number goes into 54 and 90? Well, 9 does. 9 goes into 54 6 times. So that's a 6 out of 10. Simplify that again. Divide by 2. That's 3/5. Let's hope. I'm going to get it right. Terrific. I wonder if they're going to give me another one because they just love doing this to you. But it's good because as long as you can solve these problems, you should be good to go. All right, so let's set up this last problem. For this problem, I am going to do, should I convert? Probably should. I might not. So what I'm going to do, now I'm going to convert. So 12 and 5/6, that does not look like any number to you, but it's 12 and 5/6. So 6 times 12 is 72, plus 5 is 77. 77 over 6 divided by, I'm going to convert this 1 2/3 to same thing. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5/3, and it's division. So keep, change, flip. And I did not change that. I don't know why I rewrote it like that. So 6 times 5 is 30, and then 77 times 3 21, 21, 22, 23, so 231. Then I have to divide here. So 231 divided by 30. So I'm going to say 30 into 23, or 3 into 23 would be 7 times, right? That's going to give me 7 times 30 is 210. So 1, so 2. So I'm left with that, put a decimal, 7 and 7/10. So I have 7 wholes and 7/10. Ooh, I wrote that wrong. Okay, so that took me all the way to 90. It did take me some time to get there. Not every question was difficult, but it did require you to write some stuff down.